All right, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All right, let us give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Waha Kadash Rakah, Barakatah. All right, I want to say double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, the true leaders of all Israel on earth, if you can receive it, and much love and salutations to the Akim that are across the four corners of the earth, pushing his word, sincerity, and in truth, risking their lives and freedom to do so. All right, I'm coming to you with a World War III current event update video, and it's really an impromptu. I don't have any scriptures lined up, just really just flowing through the spirit, but just basically going over a couple articles and their headlines and just browsing through them and seeing what's taking place, what's going on in the world, hence being a watchman. So without further ado, it says trial run of intimidating North Korea military parade captured by satellite. They had a parade going on for the Olympics where they have in South Korea. Basically, they're amending their once separation, and they're going to be participating with North Korea in the Olympics. So since they're the same people, they don't have much differences. They're starting to come together, especially with World War III brewing up. So they started to parade, and when they did have the parade for the Olympics, they started having their little nuclear arsenal out there being displayed. Okay, as you can see in this here picture. So that's one thing that goes to show that we in that season of a wartime you could say operation going on. Hence the Lord, as the scriptures say, he mustereth the hosts of the battle. So the Lord is bringing, people in and getting them ready to the battle. All right. This is a 6.4 magnitude earthquake struck the east coast of Taiwan. It says 2 killed, over 100 injured, and 5 buildings collapsed. That's the spirit, because I recently had an article pop up saying that this same earthquake had made a hotel to collapse. So there may be more casualties. Just as of right now, that's what they came across. Nonetheless, that's prophesied in Matthew 24:6-8. You're going to hear of wars, rumors of wars, and also earthquakes in diverse places and uproars of the nations. The earthquakes in diverse places. This is the judgment of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. This was another one that caught my attention. And I just didn't want to do individual videos on each one. So that's why I'm just coming with one current event update, just to show you that we're in that season. Washington's crackpot nuclear posture endangers the world to an alarming degree. Check this out. The first paragraph, it reads, Washington's latest nuclear posture review imperils, which the root word there, peril, is danger, global security in 3 ways. It inflates perceived threats to the U.S. It conflates conventional and nuclear war, and it pushes for the development of low yield nuclear weapons. Why? Because all of the nuclear weapons that America got are high yield, meaning it's going to cause great casualties. And the Lord said, and I'm going to grab, since the scriptures, they come to mind now. He said, hurt not the earth until the elect be sealed. It's in the New Testament, Revelation. Let's see. He said, hurt not the earth. Yep, that's it. Revelation 7. I'm going to start at 1. It says, and after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth. That wind is a destroying wind. That wind is thermonuclear destruction. It's a parable, which is a mystery, and it was given to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Okay, so it says, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. Hence, Ezekiel 9:4, that Thawah in the Hebrew, which is a mark of exemption from judgment. Let's grab that. Ezekiel chapter 9:4. And it reads, and the Lord Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, which is a people before us a place, and set a mark. This mark is a different mark from scope, found in Romans 16:17, and charagma in the Greek, found in Revelation 13:16. This is a different mark. It has a different definition. All 3 marks, same word spelling wise, all 3 have separate definitions. I did a video about this topic, and the only reason I'm elaborating right now the way that I am is because I ran into an old one Wester bug out who felt that all the marks are the same because they don't go into these words. So it says set a mark. Let's go into the word mark. It says in Istawa in the Hebrew, a mark as a sign of exemption from judgment. All right. So that's a good mark. That's not a bad mark as found in charagma, which is a mark of incision. That's a physical mark, RFID chip, NFC Vera chip mark. You don't want that one. That one is going to lead to your destruction. You want this one in your forehead, All right. It says, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. We sighing and crying for all the abominations done in the midst of us. All right. It's a multitude of abominations done in the midst of us, whether it be homosexuality. That's one of the main things that I go to because that's legalized nationwide. And that's what the Lord said in the book of 2 Peter, the second chapter, that he made Sodom and Gomorrah as an ensample, that those who should live ungodly, you're going to receive the same judgment. Okay. So that's one of the abominations in the eyes of the Lord. And there's many more, but I'm just using it as an analogy. And I was just browsing just to see if there's any other things I want to speak on. For example, chili sex abuse. I haven't read this first. This is my first time reading it as I'm going over with you guys just to see what it says. It says chili sex abuse letters suggest Pope Francis knew of a cover-up in 2015. This is the guy who claims to speak to God, who people ignorantly call God, verbatim. People look at the Pope as one who can actually be the human that can be the mediator to speak directly to the Most High. But that's contrary to the scriptures. Not to digress from the original topic of it being chili sex abuse letters, but this is an abomination. And the men of the Lord whom he have set up, Lord willing we be of the elect, are sighing and crying for these abominations that be done in the midst of us. So before the destruction come, these men have to be sealed, and that's the point of this here video. All right, these men of the Lord whom he have chosen has to be sealed in their foreheads, as it read, and then the end gonna come, as it says in Matthew 24 and 24. Let me get it right quick. Matthew 24 and 24. It reads, 24 and 14. Salakia. It says, "And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come." So once the elect get it, wherever they scattered across the four corners of the earth, then they're gonna be sealed, and then that wind is gonna blow upon the earth and hurt the sea and hurt the land and so on and so forth, man. Then that destruction gonna come. So for the time being, y'all gotta take heed. Be a watchman. Do what you got to do to potentially be saved. In the destruction to come. And not only that, and I'm reading up above, verse 13, it says, "But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved." So you ain't saved until you endure until the end. You got to endure trials, tribulations, affliction, catching hell. You got to be put through things to be tried, to be proved first. All right. And all these things is what the Lord is looking for. So I'm just coming, like I said, just with a quick impromptu. Didn't really have no scriptures in mind. I'm just really just flowing in the spirit and just seeing the different things, headlines, and just wanted to spread it with you guys as a quick little World War III update that we in that season. And as a matter of fact, I got one more scripture that just come to mind in the book of Joel, the second chapter. I believe it's 2 and 10 if I'm not mistaken. Here it is. And then I know it's in this chapter, but I don't want to wait too long, so I'm just going to go ahead and I might just type it in. Yeah, let me just go and type it in, because I know it's in there for sure, but I don't feel like waiting on it. It's just prepare war, because we're in that season. We're in that time period, all right? This is Joel 3 and 9. I'm sorry. I'm in a whole nother chapter. Salakia. This is Joel 3 verse 9. It reads, "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles." All right. And this could be speaking amongst 2/3 of the nation of Israel or natural born Gentiles, just amongst the people. It says, "Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men, and let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up." It says, "Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I'm strong." Prime example with North Korea parading around the city with their arsenal or artillery, Excuse me. I'm Salaki for that. But as we seen North Korea prancing around the streets, with their little missile artillery, military artillery, these are the weak nations whom during the what they call it, that Russia versus America, it's on the tip of my tongue, but it just slipped. The Soviet Union, that Soviet Union era, all right, They didn't have this artillery, but now they do. So this is a prime example of that scripture being fulfilled of the let the weak say I'm strong. This would have been considered a weak nation, for example. And I'm just looking at the sheer size of it. I honestly don't know how many people are there, but I just want to see the size of it on a map. All right. And not only so, but it's general location. So click on, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Images. That's what I meant to click. And map. This is a weak nation or a smaller sized nation. Keep in mind it's divided. That's what I was gonna say, is divided, but they saying they strong. All right. However, they the same people as you see North Korea, South Korea, China. They're the same. Either they come from Moab or Ammon. They're the same people. So they're going to side with each other. But these are weak nations saying that they're strong. And I just wanted to show you the size of it compared to America is quite much smaller. But they got their allies. And that's where they're going, like the scriptures say in, I believe, it escapes me, Salakia, but they got their little allies, man, and they gonna all team up and shoot missiles at this place, America. So just give you brothers an update, what's going on, what's taking place. Once again, we in that season, and it's gonna keep brewing up. It's gonna get worse before it gets better. So if you're gonna be wise, you gotta be prudent, as the scriptures say. I'm gonna give you that scripture to close out on. Prudent. Let me see. It's in Proverbs for sure. Okay, 22 and 3. That's the one I want. This is Proverbs chapter 22, verse 3. And it reads, a prudent man, prudent, subtle, shrewd, crafty, sly, one who's wise, if you will. Prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. You hide yourself in his word, you be immersed and baptized, submerged in his word. You hide yourself in the Lord. As the scriptures say, the Lord's name is a strong tower. The righteous runneth to it and is safe. So if you're gonna be prudent, you're gonna be wise, you're gonna foresee the evil. All right, I see things growing up correlated with the scripture. You be a watchman into the house of Israel. You go out there, you make your life a living sacrifice, and you hide yourself in the Lord, in that faith. All right, and in the fear of the Lord, as he say, under his wings. Let me see if I don't want the one in Malachi, but I believe it's a scripture that talk about that though. How he's safe or hide under his wings. Nonetheless, you brothers pretty much get the point though. All right. I give you another one just since I can't find that one. I'm gonna give you Proverbs 21 and 31, and it reads, the horse is prepared against the day of battle, but safety is of the Lord. So nonetheless, the safety comes from Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And if you wise and prudent, foreseeing the evil, you're going to do according to his will. And not only you're going to do his will, but you're going to do it willingly. All right. So this is just a quick little update. I hope it's been edifying to a potential elect member or two, potential brother or two. And with that, I want to say shalom. And as always, hold fast, that which is good. All right. Abide, babal.